Well, welcome to this Sports Showcase event. We're at John Carroll High School. It's the John Carroll Patriots getting set to take on the Havre Grace Warriors in a non-league girls basketball game. Barb Solberg, we look at the records of these two teams. The Warriors 1-2, Patriots 0-2, and you're thinking, well, hey, these two teams are not very talented, but you have to look at the competition they played.
You do, and the season is just getting started. I think both teams are probably trying to identify themselves and establish themselves.
Well, kind of interesting dichotomy here. We have the assistant coach for John Carroll and the head coach for Havre Grace are brothers. Now think about this. You're playing against your brother. You talk about trash talk. You know, whoever wins this game gets to buy drinks or, in high school terms, buy milkshakes from now on.
Yeah, and I don't think they were talking game strategy before the game at all.
It's really funny. We're talking about Wes Jacobs, who's the head coach of Havre Grace in his second year. He was an assistant coach at John Carroll back a couple of years ago with his brother. Tyrell Denby. Tyrell stayed on at John Carroll. Wes went back to college to get his master's degree. He's a counselor now, and so he left John Carroll and ended up at Havre Grace. I really love the attitude of Wes Jacobs. He's a guy that holds second all time at Frostburg for the 800-yard sprint and also fourth all time for the 400-yard dash. So you're talking about a quality athlete who wants to bring back the glory days to Havre Grace. They've been down for a few years. If he has his way, and I think he will, this team is going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, interesting. I think ahead of time you asked if he coached some of the John Carroll players because, you know, he's only 2 years removed, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little old homecoming for him.
Yeah, Piper McHugh, who's a senior. It seems like if you're a sports person, Piper McHugh has been around for about 30 years, it seems. She's played all 3 sports for 4 years in a row now as a senior. So Piper McHugh, number 10 for John Carroll, is somebody you want to keep your eye on. Meantime, for Havre Grace, a young lady by the name of Sarah Weitzel. She's number 11, point forward, a power forward, I should say. She's that spark plug for this team, Barb. We're looking at these teams, as you said, both young. Roxy Smith for Havre Grace, 12 points a game. So, you know, there's a lot of talent. And Bob, the other thing is the JV game that we just saw, Havre Grace blew John Carroll off the floor. Havre Grace, again, we talk about a team on the rise. I think the Warriors are a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I noticed that watching the JV team. They were well disciplined. They were pretty good.
They lost, speaking of Havre Grace, to Edgewood this past Friday night, lost by 7. Talking to Wes Jacobs, he said, hey, it's a game we should have won. They missed 18 free throws. He said, had we made just a few more of those. And Edgewood, if you know anything about girls basketball, they're a senior-laden team. They've been building over the years, and this is their year, looking toward maybe going a long way in the state playoffs. So if you can hold Edgewood to within 7 points by missing 18 free throws, you know, that says a lot about your team.
I guess we know what they worked on at practice the next day.
Exactly. I remember Terry Cole, the old coach at Aberdeen. You have to run laps, okay? Now, Terry was a kind of a weird person. He felt the coaches should run the laps also. And I was the assistant coach, so, you know, I was said, don't miss free throws. I don't like running laps. So we would be running laps for, you know, the first part of the practice if we missed free throws. Getting set now to hear the introduction of the players, and we'll have the national anthem as well as a prayer here at John Carroll. So first of all, we'll be the visiting Havre Grace Warriors dressed in the maroon uniforms. Please support the participants, coaches, game administrators, and officials in a positive manner. Thanking the folks here at John Carroll for their hospitality, making us feel very welcome. Barbara, I know you had a chance to walk through the school, just a beautiful school. So great to be here at John Carroll.
Yeah, we never got to play here much.
And that's because John Carroll is in the IAAM, the Interscholastic Association, Athletic Association of Maryland. They don't play many Harford County schools, but Barb, this year they're going to play Edgewood. They're also going to play Falston in addition to playing Havre Grace, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
The Edgewood game should be, again, we talked about the Rams, you know, with Sam Donovan and J.L. Erickson. Those two young ladies have been freshmen together. Now they're seniors. Barb, they've been injured over the years. This year it looks like they're both healthy, and we can't think about anything but good things for the Edgewood Rams.
No, I'm looking forward to some of those games.
Now we want to stand, all of us, and we're going to honor our country with our national anthem.
Lord God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather in competition. We ask for all those involved to conduct themselves with good sportsmanship, despite the outcome. Lord, we thank you for the gifts and abilities you have blessed these athletes with, and we pray that they may use them to glorify you. All this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Please remain standing and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Bob Solberg, you talked about young teams. Havre Grace graduated 6 seniors off last year's team. They really have only one player who was a full-time starter last year. So it is a young team that's going to have a lot of growing to do.
Yeah, notice both starting lineups have the exact same makeup. They have 2 seniors, a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman for both teams.
There you see the maroon-clad Warriors being introduced. First of all, let's talk about them. Number 12 is Audrey Stacy. Audrey is a freshman, 5'7". Number 2 is Diamond Henderson. She's a senior, 5'5". Number 11, that is the young lady we mentioned, Sarah Weitzel. Her team 2 years ago, the soccer team, won the state title, we're told. And now the John Carroll Patriots starting lineup.
Number 2,
Aaron Vacek is a sophomore. She's the point guard. Cameron Allman is a freshman.
A sophomore, number 21, Jordan Solomon Jones.
Jordan Solomon Jones will be starting, the sophomore. Riley Adams is a junior.
Number 10,
Piper McHugh, number 10. And again, we mentioned her. She is just an all-athlete, Barb, just everywhere you go. She's going to go to college to play lacrosse. She's going to Ohio State, the Buckeyes, to play lacrosse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Piper McHugh, what a great athlete she is. Senior, I remember watching her as a freshman, growing up as a sophomore and a junior, now her senior year. So she's going to be somebody to watch. So number 2, 10, 15, 22, 23, also 21, a starter for John Carroll. 2, 4, 12, 13, and 11, the starters for Havre Grace. John Carroll in the home whites with the black and the brown trim. Referees tonight, we have Maria Gore and Connor Disharoon are the 2 referees. Just about ready to get underway. The Havre Grace Warriors out of the Tidings division of the UCBAC, and John Carroll from the IAAM B Conference. Coached by Janelle Fleet in her first year as head coach, and we are underway. The tap will come to John Carroll going from left to right across your TV screen. We are underway. 8-minute periods, 30-second shot clock, and out of bounds. That's your unforced error, Barb. You don't want that to happen.
No, you don't. It just will slip through her hands.
You're kind of looking the other way when the pass came. Here come the Warriors on the attack. 13 is Smith. Roxy Smith, the 5'5" sophomore. Almost taken away. Looking for three. It's going to hit the front of the rim and no good. That shot was by 11, Sarah Weitzel. Check it was by 13, Roxy Smith. Short shot bounces around. Rebounded. John Carroll comes away with the ball, looking to try to get the three-point shot away. Don't get it away. That's Jordan Solomon-Jones, 21, with the ball. Setting it over to Aaron Vacek. Vacek, number 2. Hawking her. Here's 13, Roxy Smith.
I think
Turnover.
they called a travel.
Travel is called, so 2 mistakes now for John Carroll. Bob, a little bit of a zone press coming up.
Yeah, Havre Grace breaks it easily.
Driving the baseline, losing it out of bounds. If we go to John Carroll. Barbara, why would you do a zone press without really pressing full scale?
Just to run the clock down a little bit, the play clock.
Havre Grace looks like they're in a man-to-man press. John Carroll breaking it easily.
It doesn't give the other team much time to set up their offense.
Solomon-Jones, 21. Looking for the shot from the outside. That's good on the three-pointer. The first points of the game go to John Carroll. That by Cameron Allman, and that was a three-pointer. So the Patriots break on top by 3-0 and out of bounds now. Havre Grace has 2 turnovers, as does John Carroll.
It was a beautiful three-point shot.
It was that.
Nothing but net.
Solomon-Jones getting it back out front. Again, that's the three-point score. Allman. Solomon-Jones back of the rim, no good. Rebound comes to John Carroll. Jones gets it back, looking for another three. She's not shy. Hey, Barb, you can't score unless you shoot, huh?
That's right.
John Carroll getting in. McHugh has the ball blocked and recovered by Havre Grace. Good job of the Warriors blocking that shot, keeping the score at 3-0. That shot blocker, by the way, was Sabree Knox. Sabree at 5'10", the tallest girl on the floor. Another turnover. 3-0 the score. John Carroll, the only point.
Number 5 comes in for Havre Grace. Brielle Coxell.
Yeah, Brielle Coxell in the ball game. That ball is thrown away. Sloppy passing so far. I guess a little nerves maybe, Barb?
A little bit. I've been more impressed with both teams' defense early on in this game.
Now, girls now do have the 10-second rule to cross the midcourt line, Barb. Back in your day, you could have all day long 30 seconds to get it across.
Yeah, we also didn't have a shot clock back in my day either.
There's a 2-point shot. That by Roxy Smith. Narrows the score down to 3-2. Jones, Solomon-Jones misses. Coming up with a rebound, that is Brielle Coxell. Inside it goes. Weitzel tied up, has the ball taken away. Here comes Piper McHugh. Check it, that's Aaron Zajac, number 2. Looking for 3 again, doesn't draw iron. Recovered though by John Carroll. Looking for the shot, can't get it to fall. Rebound by Weitzel. Talking to her mom before the game. Headed for Clarkson University, taken away by John Carroll. They're going to say carry. Barbara, she turned that ball over on the playground. That's perfectly legal.
Yeah, that was a tough call.
Yeah, it was. Here comes Havre Grace breaking the press. Almost breaking it, and now they do. Looking for the elbow jumper. Good. See a number on that. That's Havre Grace's number 4.
Sabree Knox.
Sabree Knox, yeah. It's now, now 4-3, the lead for Havre Grace. A nice little shot. Fadeaway shot. That's McHugh. McHugh now puts her team back ahead at 5-4. Coming up the halfway mark of the first period. Looking for 3 over the back of the rim. No good. Roxy Smith with that attempt. Driving the baseline. Going to be cut off, and a foul is going to be called. You could see that time that Cameron Allman, Barb, was setting up her defender. sort of lulled her to sleep and then hit it on that baseline. Got by her and got fouled. Cameron Ullman has a three-pointer, looking for two more. John Carroll had a 3-0 lead. They were down 4-3. Now they're back up by 5-4. Second shot coming. Off the back of the rim, no good. Out of bounds, it's going to stay with John Carroll. It almost looked like one of the Patriots had the hand on the ball, but they're going to say no. It was off Havre. New player in, Weitzel will sit down.
Yeah, we don't have instant replay in high school.
No. Solomon Jones to shoot again, looking for three. She's got it. Solomon Jones is not shy about putting it up. Puts her team up now by 8-4. Open for the three. Off the back of the rim and over the back stop, but it comes off to John Carroll. Oh, great pass. Unable to convert. McHugh gets the rebound short. Rebound to Havre. Timeout is going to be called on the floor. Called by Wes Jacobs, the coach for Havre. We mentioned about Wes, Janelle Fleet, who's the coach for John Carroll in her first year. Janelle played at Muhlenberg, also played at St. Paul's School for Girls and coached there as well. Both these coaches, Barb, are intent on building a program, both young in their program. There you see Wes Jacobs. Wes, who works as a counselor outside the school system, talking to his girls. And there you see his brother, Tyrell Dimby, the assistant coach. Obscured there was Janelle Fleet, the John Carroll coach. John Carroll leading by 4. They had a 3-0 lead. They were down 4-3. Now they're up by 8-4.
I know John Carroll's not afraid to take that outside three-pointer.
Yeah, Solomon Jones has put up 3, I think. She's made 1 of the 3. They were all good shots, Barb. She was open. This is Smith, 13. Gets the ball back out and out of bounds it goes. It's going to stay here. In the ball game for Havre de Grace, Mercy Kortenting, number 23. Second-year player, 5'9" junior. Looking for 3. Long, unable to draw iron. Here comes
Late
Vacek.
pass. Oh,
Saved by McHugh, but it's going to be out of bounds. Just a little tall on that pass, Barb.
just a little bit. Let her a little too much. It's a good idea, though.
Roxy Smith, just a sophomore, 5'5", the number 13, a point guard. Kiss it off to Croxel, number 5, Brielle Croxel. Clock at 14 and the turnover again. McHugh comes away with it.
And Havre de Grace is having a hard time getting the ball in the paint and getting any shots off.
Vacek gets it off to McHugh. McHugh stops, pops, bounces around and goes in. Piper McHugh's now got 4. Her team up by 6. Barb, that's what, a 1-2-2 zone defense?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Getting the shot off.
They're keeping them outside.
McHugh driving, puts her head down, puts it up and good.
Tough
Piper
shot.
McHugh has 6. Her team up by 8.
She had a couple defenders on her.
Piper says, get out of my face. I'm going to make this shot. I'm amazed how you can get the shot off being harassed the way she was. Inside, what's that, a minute 30 left in this first period? Again, another turnover.
Trying to get the pass inside. John Carroll's playing tough defense.
But that's where a bounce pass might be more effective.
Exactly.
Vacek. Driving, Solomon Jones up, rolls off, no good. McHugh gets the rebound. Now looking for 3, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, battle for, John Carroll comes away with it. McHugh with the ball. Coming up on a minute. Inside a minute left here in this first period. Shot clock, still plenty of time, 20 seconds. McHugh looking for three. Back of the rim, no good. Rebound, Croxall. Here comes Havre Grace. But they haven't scored, Barb, in about 4 minutes.
No, and they've had a tough time getting shots off, too.
There's a three, no good. I think it's going to be over the back is going to be the call against Mercy Quarantine. That's her first foul, I believe. Riley Schilfarth, number 21, comes in for Havre Grace. First time we've seen her, the sophomore. Second year on the varsity. They check. That's Allman. Goes out of bounds and it will go to Havre Grace with 26 seconds. They could save it or hold it for the last shot, Barb. Although if you're down by 8, I'm not sure if that's a wise strategy or not.
I think I'd try to get the last shot off for sure. Don't give John Carroll the ball back.
Looking for three from the corner. Good! That high arching three-pointer is good. Let me see a number on that.
I think it was
Looks
number
like
12.
Number 12.
Aubrey Stacy.
Yeah. Aubrey Stacy, her first three of the night. So 3 seconds left. It is 14-7. The foul is going to be called. Looks like
That foul was on Mercy.
Mercy Quarantine.
It's her second.
They check. Misses it. 2 seconds, one, and that's the end. Oh, that ball. I think it would have been good if it had gone. 14-7 is our score at the end of the first period. We talked about Havre Grace and their loss Friday night. This being a Monday against Edgewood, they lost by 7, but they missed 18 free throws. And we're seeing tonight that playing against John Carroll, they've been plagued by turnovers. Barb, is that because of their sloppy play, or is it great defense by John Carroll?
No, I think it's pretty good defense. And John Carroll has yet to commit a foul, so Havre Grace hasn't even gone to the line yet in this game.
Leading scorer, 6 points for Piper McHugh. She's got 3 two-pointers, and then 3 points for Cameron Allman, and then 3 also for Jordan Solomon. That's for John Carroll. Meantime, for Havre Grace, Audrey Stacy, Audrey has the 3-pointer, and the other 2 points are scored by Sabree Knox and by Roxy Smith. So if you're Havre Grace, Barb, what do you got to do to get back in the game?
I'd try to penetrate that zone defense, and like you said, bounce passes maybe, because they're just not getting the ball inside at all. John Carroll's forcing them to take outside shots, and they're just not making any. And they're not getting the rebound.
John Carroll, you know, they're not particularly tall, but they have long arms, it seems, and they just cut down the passing lanes.
Well, that's the key to zone defense. Keep your arms up and out and try to be as big as you can.
It's that 1-2-2 zone defense. The open should be in the middle. There's a driving one-hander, will not fall. Havre Grace keeps it, Croxall. Back out it comes to Sabree Knox. 3-pointer no good. Rebound McHugh. Did they check? And here come the Patriots. Up by 7. McHugh back out front. Driving one-hander. Foul is going to be called, and that's good. That ball was just thrown up there and went in the basket. Shot by Cameron Allman. Her first 2 of the night. She's going to look for a 3-point play. Puts her team up now by 9.
And that's Mercy Cartank's 3rd foul.
Wow. Havre Grace getting the rebound. If John Carroll had made their free throws, Barb, they could have been up by even more. Leading by 9. Oh, nice give and go. Can't convert. Rebound comes off to John Carroll. That was a nice give and go, just they couldn't complete the play.
You know, John Carroll's doing a great job getting those rebounds and giving him only one chance.
Open for three from the corner. Good. That shot by Lucy French in the ball game. John Carroll now has 3 3-pointers. They lead by 18-7. It's an 11-point lead. Sabrina Knox thinks about the three, gives it up from the elbow, no good. That shot was by Riley Schilfart. Out of bounds it goes. John Carroll ball. Patriots, as we said, coming in 0-2. They lost 2 games to IAAM A-conference teams. They'll be facing Edgewood on December the 17th and Falston on January the 20th. So they've got 2 more games against Harford County Public School teams coming up later in the year. Giving it up. Off the back of the iron, no good by Vacek. Rebound by Havre Grace.
Havre Grace is playing man-to-man defense and moving the ball. John Carroll's moving the ball around really well.
Croxall looking for 3 and gets it. Boy, that's a big one. They needed that, Barb.
Yes, they did.
18-10 now. Croxall's first points of the night. Vacek.
Havre Grace sticking with the man-to-man.
Almond inside to McHugh. Boy, moving the ball well. Inside the 3. Rebound will go out of bounds. It'll go to the Havre Grace Warriors. John Carroll sending in 3 new players. Looks like 13 Kendall Gallup. Along with number 12, that's Avery Cornke. Well, great defense by John Carroll, double teaming them. That defense is just relentless, Barb.
It sure is. As soon as Havre Grace gets the ball, 2 people.
Looks like they got like 7 or 8 defenders on the floor. Solomon Jones gives it up. Oh, taken, almost stolen. Retaining possession, shooting it no good. That was a new player on the floor, Avery Cronke. Driving, shooting from the elbow, no good. Rebound.
Tried to run the fast break, but John Carroll got back very quickly.
Lucy French on that rebound. Coming up on the 4-minute 50 mark. Taken away by Havre Grace, but retained by John Carroll and out of bounds. It'll stay with John Carroll. Good job by Kendall Gallup, hustling and maintaining possession for her team. Coming in for Havre Grace, number 4, Sabrina Knox. 5 seconds to get it in. They do. Driving, giving it up. Good block. 2 blocks by Havre Grace. Good defense that time by the Warriors. Pass a little bit tall.
Pass. Oh, yeah, good save.
Oh, it was a great save. Sabrina Knox now. Back to Knox. Knox driving, is fouled, I think, on the floor. I don't believe that basket's going to count. If it were NBA, it might. We're not playing in the NBA. No, they're going to say it is a foul on the floor. Havre Grace down by 8. They trail by 7 at the period. Gets it to fall. Good job that time by Sabrina Knox. Sabrina with her 4th point. Narrows the lead to 6 now. Coming up on the halfway mark of the 2nd period. Jay Thomas gets rid of it. 3-pointer, no good. Rebound, bounce around, gets it to John Carroll. Rebound again, this time taken away by Croxall. The shot by French wouldn't fall for John Carroll. Weitzel into the corner. Back out to Weitzel. Check it to Croxall.
That was a great look and a good shot.
Looking for 3. It's good. Boy, these kids can shoot. That's Avery Cronke. That's the 4th 3 of the night for John Carroll. So 12 of their 21 points have come from the 3-point variety. Croxall long on the 3. Long rebound comes out into the hands of Henderson. Alternating possession will stay with Havre Grace. Jordan Solomon Jones, 21, coming in for the Patriots, along with Riley Adam and Piper McHugh back in the game for John Carroll. 3 minutes exactly, and now counting left in this first half. Solomon Jones driving by, puts it up, doesn't get the shot, but does get the foul. She's fouled by number 1, Tiara Fowler, her first foul. I'm really impressed with Jordan Solomon Jones' just ability, that change of pace dribble. However, free throw shooting. They call them
you're
free,
right
Barbara.
about that. They can put the three-pointer in, but when you're standing still, shooting a foul shot, it's hard.
Some people have difficulty, because there's no defense. Well, that one goes
There's
in.
one.
That was called the reverse announcer jinx.
Well, at least it was the reverse.
More subs coming in for John Carroll. Number 2, Aaron Vacek. Along with number 15, that's Cameron Allman. Oh, great defense. Double dribble and travel will be the call. Looks like she was able to get the ball down on the floor, but took a couple of extra steps.
Yeah, that's because she's fast.
There you go. You don't need no stinking dribbling. We'll just run with this ball. This is Roxy Smith. Roxy looking for the long 3. Goes out of bounds. It will stay with Havre Grace. Warriors down by 10, 22-12. Largest deficit of the night for the Warriors. Almost taken away. Boy, those long-arm John Carroll players. Smith open for the 3. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded into the corner, and they're going to say out of bounds. Tahira Fowler stepping on the out-of-bounds line. 2:24, the ball back to John Carroll. Aaron Vacek, the sophomore point guard. Driving, scoop one-hander, foul is going to be called. That was Riley Adam. Adam will be shooting 2.
And that's her second foul on Audrey Stacy.
Croxell coming in for Havre Grace. Brielle Croxell, her 3rd year on the varsity, a 5'5" junior. Missing them both. Rebound comes off into the hands of Sabrina Knox. Setting up, looking for 3, doesn't get it. Now looking for 3, off the back of the rim, no good. Nice rebound by Croxell. Now the foul is going to be called on the floor. Not a shooting foul. 1:53 left here in the half.
It's Cameron Allman's first foul.
Well, McHugh is just all over the defender, and that is a 5-second count. But you know that you cannot hold the ball 5 seconds closely guarded.
You cannot, and if you're a teammate, you've got to go towards her.
Absolutely.
Give her someone to pass to.
You saw how McHugh used not only herself, but the sideline as another defender.
Yeah, nowhere to go over there.
Driving one-hander,
Great
good.
drive.
Boy, what a move. That by Cameron Allman. Allman now with 4. Now the biggest lead at 24-12. Minute 30 left in the half. Oh, what a takeaway. Allman again. One person to beat. Scoops it up, no good. Rebound Croxell. Passes it ahead to Knox. Knox saves it momentarily. And now it's out of bounds, and it will go to John Carroll. Boy,
Great.
that Patriot defense is just relentless.
It's relentless. They're quick getting down the court. You see all 5 players just sprinting down the court to get on defense.
Yeah. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Solomon Jones looking for 3, puts it up, front of the rim, no good. What a rebound. Great job by 23, that's Adam. Havre Grace comes away with the loose ball and throws it away. Don't have a list of the turnovers, but I'd say Havre Grace probably is in double figures in turnovers by now.
A little more than they'd like,
Yeah.
that's for sure. But again, you know, with the defense that John Carroll's playing, they're trying to make something happen, trying to get the ball down there quickly and get a shot up.
Into the corner, McHugh passes up the 3, drives for the 2, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, no good. Rebound comes off to Weitzel, intercepted, and can't get it to score. Boy, what great hands. McHugh with the jumper, no good. Proxel, McHugh again. I think they're going to call McHugh with the foul. Yep, it is on Piper McHugh.
It's her first.
We're really impressed with Riley Adam. Quick hands in there, number 23 for John Carroll.
Quick hands, good passing.
Also Cameron Allman, number 15. Just great defenders. Looking for the logo 3. That was a Caitlin Clark 3, wasn't it?
Almost, not quite.
Wouldn't fall. Now looking for the basket as the horn sounds to end the half with a 24-12 lead by John Carroll. John Carroll was up by 12 at one point, and that's where they are right now as we go to the break. Barb, if you are either coach, let's talk first of all about Havre Grace. What do you say to your team in the locker room?
Well, the same thing. I mean, hustle down the court, try to get some fast break points. Either if you got to start making shots from the outside, you got to keep putting it up, and if you can't get it inside, you know, try to get it inside with, like you said, a bounce pass or draw some fouls. But they gotta get to the line. They gotta keep shooting and start making some shots.
It looks like if my scorebook is correct, Cameron Allman has 7 points leading her team, 6 points for Piper McHugh for John Carroll. Meantime, for Havre Grace, Bree Knox has 4 points. She's the leading scorer for that team. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more action. Don't go away. It's John Carroll leading by 24-12 here at half at John Carroll. Well, we're back with you at Patterson. Patterson Mill, no, this is not Patterson Mill. This is John Carroll. We were at Patterson Mill Friday night. Barb, I'm having trouble remembering where I am. That's
You're
a sign
busy
of
man.
age. Yeah. The John Carroll Patriots leading by that 24-12. They've led all the way. I think Havre Grace had a 1 point lead early on, but the defense of John Carroll, to me, has been the difference.
It has been the difference. And even on offense, I think they're passing the ball quickly. They're always moving, trying to find the open player. They're getting rebounds. Yeah, they've been tough tonight.
I was asking you what you'd say if you're Havre Grace, if you're John Carroll. What does Wes Jacobs say to his team?
I would say more of the same.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Now, we saw the JV game, and we said that Havre Grace simply blew out John Carroll in the JV game. So you're thinking maybe the same pattern would fall for varsity?
I was thinking that, but now that I'm watching.
It is. I think John Carroll has probably a little more veteran presence, especially in a player like McHugh, who is such a great athlete. There you see Coach Janelle Fleet talking to her team and saying, I'm sure exactly what you said, Barb, more of the same.
Yeah, you add McHugh, she's a senior, right? And Cameron Allman is having a great game. She's a freshman, so she's going to be fun to watch.
Yep. Talking about players that are going on to play in college, Sarah Weitzel going to play softball at Clarkson University, going to study all kinds of engineering. She plays 3 sports, Barb. That's like a 4.6 GPA. I mean, how do you do that? How do you play 3 sports and maintain in all academic type courses?
Yeah, you got to be disciplined.
3.85 the GPA for the Havre Grace team as a team. That's pretty good. Well, here we go now, and an interception taken away by John Carroll. Here come the Patriots, and they score first. That is Cameron Allman. Allman, who led all scores with 7 in the first half, now has 2 more. and takes the ball away again. Gets it over, and Havre de Grace scores
Wow.
one for John.
Not what Havre de Grace needs right now is a press.
That was Aaron Vacek who got that 2 points. So now it's a 28-12 lead for the John Carroll Patriots. And a foul is called.
Great pass inside. That's what Havre de Grace needs to do.
Putting it up that time was Sabrina Knox. So Knox will go to the line. She'll shoot 2. Knox, the leading scorer for Havre de Grace, with 4 points in that first half.
I didn't see who the foul was on, did you?
No, I did not. I don't see it on the scoreboard either. They haven't put it down.
Why do we
I don't know. There is good music in the background. And the second shot goes in. So Knox is able to score. Minute into the third period, it is now a 28-13 lead for John Carroll. Driving, giving it up, McHugh. Cut off. Tries to pass the ball. Wow. That's what you want to see, Barb. If you're a senior and you're diving on the floor.
Yeah,
I mean,
senior, junior, freshman, sophomore, you want to be diving.
But what a lesson for the younger players to see, a senior putting forth that kind of effort. Nice no-look pass, McHugh driving. Now she has it taken away. Trying to get the shot up is Havre de Grace's number 2, Desmond Diamond Henderson. She's going to be fouled. She'll go to the line shooting 2.
Fouls on Aaron Vasek, that's her first. Now we have 2 quick fouls on John Carroll this quarter.
Nope, doesn't draw iron, and this was their problem, Havre de Grace against Edgewood, when they missed 18 free throws in a game they lost by 7 points. Off the front of the rim, no good. McHugh with the rebound. Barb, do you have any secret to free throw shooting? What is the secret?
No, there's no secret. It's just practice, practice, practice.
Oh, driving one-hander. So impressed with the speed of Cameron Ullman. She seems to be going at speed faster than a defender is.
Fouls on Sarah Weitzel, her first.
Ullman to shoot 2. Neither team has had a whole lot of success at the free throw line.
Well, Havre de Grace hasn't been there much tonight.
That's
John
true.
Carroll has.
That is very true. Second one cleanly through. Ullman now with 10 points. She had 7 in the first half. Turnover. John Carroll gets the ball back. Timeout. Boy, if you're Janelle Fleet and Tyrell Denby, the coaches for John Carroll, you've got to be happy. This team has been playing just almost, I don't want to say airless ball.
I was going to say, they are not making many mistakes tonight. Yeah. And, they said some mistakes may be from hustling, but you can't fault anybody for that.
Coming in at 0-2, again, their 2 losses were against IAAM A conference teams. John Carroll playing in the B conference. So this is the first time they've stepped out and playing a team out of the IAAM, playing Havre de Grace. So we mentioned they'll be playing Edgewood and Falston later in the year, in addition to their B conference schedule. Piper McHugh, number 10, headed for Ohio State to play lacrosse. She's also a soccer standout, as well as a basketball player of some renown.
I don't know if I'm Havre de Grace. I don't know what the strategy is over there. Seems like John Carroll has an answer.
I asked Janelle Fleet, the coach of John Carroll, is it possible, could you fail Piper McHugh and get her back for a 5th year? And she didn't seem to think that was at all possible.
Yeah, I don't think she would appreciate that.
Not at all. Again, Ohio State to be a lacrosse-playing Buckeye next year. Solomon Jones looking for 3, front of the rim. McHugh with the rebound. She's fouled. What a hustler under the basket. McHugh with 6 points. She'll get a chance for 2 more.
Foul number 4, Sabrina Knox.
Knox with a foul. How many is that on her?
That's just her first.
Just her first, okay. McHugh off the back of the rim, and it doesn't get the friendly home roll. Cleanly through on the second one. McHugh now with 7 points. Almost another takeaway. Weitzel's able to save it. Pass underneath, too high. Turnover. What do they say about, be quick but don't hurry? And it seemed like that time that Havre Grace was just a little bit, maybe too fast for its own good.
Yeah, and I think that's the defense that John Carroll's playing. I think they're just not giving them anything.
Solomon Jones with the miss. Rebound comes off for Havre Grace. Oh, now they're calling the call a double dribble. It looked like number 12 for Havre Grace, and that's Audrey Stacy. Thought she had passed the ball with 2 hands. Referee Connor Disharoon said, nope, you dribbled twice with 2 hands. Thinking about the 2, doesn't take it. Solomon Jones, she's not shy about shooting. A great pass inside. Only will make the catch.
That's good defense for Havre Grace. That was a great pass. You got double team though.
That's Allman with the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Havre Grace. It'll stay with John Carroll. 5:31. Looks like we've lost our picture, and now we have it back. McHugh gets it to fall.
Great shot. Good pass.
McHugh now with 9. Croxell double teamed, taken away. Great job by John Carroll. McHugh won't fall. Five minutes left here in the third period. It's a big 32-13, 19-point lead for John Carroll. They led by 12 at the half. They've expanded it down to 7 more. Inside, shot will not go. Looked like Sabri could have gone directly up with that ball.
That's what I was thinking too.
Said she took
she
that
found
one
herself
dribble.
a little too open.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get surprised.
Driving, putting it up and getting it to fall. What a play by Allman. Allman now with 12 points. Their team up by 21 at 34-13. Moving the ball around, looking for 3. That's good. Boy, they needed that one. That good by Croxell. Croxell gets her second 3 of the night. Turning, cut off, McHugh, driving, turnaround jumper, rolls in and goes in.
That was nice.
Very nice, and a good home.
You don't see a turnaround jumper from girls basketball too often.
Yeah, not at this level. That's more an advanced skill.
John Carroll's getting ready to bring some subs in.
11 points now for McHugh. Off of John Carroll, it'll go out of bounds, stay with Havre Grace. Looks like 3 new players coming in. 14 is Devin Jablin. 4 is Lucy French.
Number 3.
And 3 would be Ellie Sarah. 3 players we've seen briefly in the first half. Croxell, jumper from the corner. Call the officials say it's a jump ball. Alternating possession will go to John Carroll. Folks might wonder about that jump ball. It was a good block, and so it wasn't a travel, it was a jump ball and the alternating possession. Driving, spinning, shooting. Foul is going to be called. That's Jay Thomas. Barb, when you played back in the late 70s, early 80s, did they have a jump ball on a held ball? Or
Yes.
was it alternate? Yes.
No, we didn't have alternate shots.
Which
The
really
possession arrow,
slowed the game down a whole lot. I think
It
it's one of
did.
the great rules that changes that they've made.
I agree.
Weitzel picked up her third on that play. Jay Thomas, rebound McHugh, back to Thomas. Out of bounds it goes. It'll go to Havre Grace. Warriors down by 20, 36-16. Croxell from the elbow, no good. McHugh, long rebound, taps it to herself. Driving up, and travel is going to be called.
What a great play that was.
It was. She got the rebound, tapped it to herself. Again, we're talking about skills you don't normally see at this level. Tapping the ball to yourself. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the third period. Spinning, shooting, turning, won't go. Rebound comes off to John Carroll. That's Lucy French with the rebound. Good try by Sabrina Knox, number 4 for Havre Grace. Just couldn't get it to fall. Open for the 3, passes it up. French, front rim, no good. Oh, nice rebound. Taken away by John Carroll. Well, good job by Avery Cornkey that time. 2 rebounds, Barb, underneath.
Yeah, I would expect John Carroll to get 3 chances at it, but
Inside 2 minutes left here in the third period. It's been all John Carroll. Getting a hand in the passing lane, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Havre Grace. Shot clock is at 9. That should reset, I would think, to 20, but they still got 9 seconds on the shot clock. Croxell from the side, good. Brielle Croxell gets her third 3 of the night. She's got 9 points, all on 3-point shots. There's the lead down to 17 now for John Carroll.
so she has almost half of their points tonight.
Thinking about the 3, passes it up. That was Kendall Gallup, number 13. Gallup says, okay, if you want to give me that shot, I'll take it. Sabrina Knox with the rebound. Pass just a little bit tall. It'll go back to John Carroll. Minute 10 left in the third.
You see a little frustration that time.
Riley Schilforth in the ball game, number 1 for Havre Grace. Kendall Gallup gives the ball up to Sarah, Ellie Sarah. Takeaway by Havre Grace, good hustle. Sabrina Knox
Good
with the drive. Beautiful one. Sabrina now with 7 points.
That's what Havre Grace needs to get back into this.
Yeah, back within 15. What do they say, Barb? Get it within single figures, and then we'll go from there. They were down by 20 at one point, was Havre Grace. Looking for 3. It's good. Whoa, that's a dagger in the heart from Ellie Sarah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. She says, nope, not so fast.
Not so fast. As Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. Havre Grace ball. 15.4 seconds left here in the third. Open for 3, doesn't take it. Knox. Now Croxell, she'll take it. Back of the rim though, no good. Good rebound. Nice job inside to get that rebound. By number 23, Mercy Carantine. Mercy was hit with those 3 fouls early, so she'd been in foul trouble most of the game. Out front it comes, looking for 3. The bank was not open. A nice pass. And let's see, I think that hopefully everyone's okay down there.
Yeah, that was a tough collision.
Big collision, and we're seeing two young ladies that are
Number 3 is
down.
holding her wrist.
Well, you hate to see this. The one good thing you love is that you've got medical personnel right on the spot. Is that number 3, Ellie Sarah?
Sarah for John Carroll, yeah.
Ellie down, you're saying holding the wrist. Again, the trainers out there attending to Ellie Sarah. Sabrina Knox was able to get up under her own power. A hush comes over the crowd as everybody is praying that Ellie Sarah, the junior, number 3, is okay. She's sitting up, and certainly from my distance, I have no idea what the problem is.
No, but she appears to be in some pain.
Our score here, 39-21. That action occurring right at the end of the third period. It looked like the buzzer had sounded, so the collision that occurred took place after the end of the period. John Carroll coming in at 0-2, looking for their first win. Havre de Grace 1-2, having lost to Winters Mill and to Edgewood. Their win coming over Seamilton Wright. Oh, and there's the great news. Seeing Ellie Sarah get up under her own power and be able to walk off the floor, and looks like she's going to sit on the bench for a while at least, holding that right wrist, it would appear.
Yeah, maybe it could be her fingers or hands, something.
Again, I said every time, Barbara, back in your day and my day, you didn't have medical personnel on hand. So if somebody were injured, it was up to the coach to try to render aid. And, coaches, you're there to coach, not to be a medical, expert.
All right, yeah, it's a good thing that they're on hand now.
These are certified trainers who work with these teams on a daily basis at practice and at games. Back in the day, you usually had a doctor, a volunteer doctor at a football game maybe. That was about all you had. So here we go into the fourth period now with a 17-point advantage. It was 12 at the half, now 17. Knox driving. Foul is going to be called.
It's Cameron Allman with the foul. It's her second.
Sabrina Knox will go to the line. Knox with 7 points, leading her team in scoring. One more free throw coming. Rebound taken away by Croxall, and she is fouled. Pardon my mistake. Actually, Croxall leads her team in scoring. She's got 9 points, all on 3 3-pointers. She'll get a chance to make 2 more, perhaps. And rolls it in. She's now in double figures.
The foul is on Piper McHugh. That's her second.
And makes them both. 3 3-pointers and now 2 free throws. She's got 11. Team back within 16. Corner, McHugh. Gets it inside. Spinning, shooting. What a play.
Nice.
Great, that's by Riley Adams.
Good pivot move.
Riley went right, then went left, and came back right and put the ball in. Again, boy, we talk about next level skill.
Yeah, and the defense was good.
It was. Maintained her pivot foot. Got the basket for John Carroll. That's her first 2 of the night. Adam looking for 2. Good by Knox. Knox now has 9.
So Havre de Grace is starting to put the ball in the bucket, but so is John Carroll. They've not stopped.
Solomon Jones. Boy, that's a nice shot. That floating one-hander, a skill that you've seen basketball players pick up in these days. Far back in our day, you stopped and popped. Now you make that running one-hander.
Good try.
McHugh.
It's good defense. She was open for a split second.
Solomon Jones, corner! Whoa. That is her second three. She's now got 7, checking 9. Knox driving, no foul called. Big collision there, but the official said play on. Here comes McHugh down the lane, puts it up, and she's going to be fouled. Piper McHugh said, hey, I got boxed in down at the defensive end. I'll just take it right to the hoop. Piper McHugh, who has 11.
Wholesale substitution coming in here, John Carroll.
Yeah, it looks like, 4 players getting ready to check in?
No, 5.
5, there's the 5th one. McHugh gets the first. Well, McHugh will stay on the floor to shoot that second free throw.
Number 22, Jade Haynes. Number 14, Devin Jablon.
Second one is good. So McHugh will sit down with 13 points. For all intents and purposes, we may have seen the last of the starting 5 for John Carroll.
Yeah, I would agree with that, barring, a major comeback here.
In the ball game for John Carroll, Kendall Gallup, number 13, looking for 3 off the short of the front of the rim.
Didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock does not reset.
Yeah, down to 7. Knox, back of the rim, no good. Bounces around, Knox again. Knox is going to be fouled. Other players on the floor, Avery Cronky, number 12, for John Carroll.
Foul on Kendall Gallup, her second.
Kendall, number 13, into the ball game. Knox off the front of the rim, no good.
Subbing in for the Warriors, number 13, Roxy Schmidt. Number 12, Audrey Stacy.
Schilfarth in the ball game. Riley Schilfarth, and also number 12, Audrey Stacy. Misses on both. Rebound comes off to number 4, Lucy French. 5 minutes and change left in the game. Jablon. One-hander, no good. That was Avery Gronke. Croxall almost has it taken away, maintains possession. Jumper good. Nice play by Roxy Smith. Roxy now has 4 points on the night. .21 lead for the Patriots. Out of bounds. You're going to say it's John Carroll ball. Nope, they're going to say Havre Grace. That's what I thought the call was going to be. Coming up on the 4-minute mark. Roxy Smith.
Good look.
Knox can't get the jumper to fall. Good rebound there by number 12, Avery Cronky. Looking for 3, has all day. Front of the rim, no good.
I don't think she meant to take that, but she said, hey, nobody's near me.
Yeah, Avery Cronky says, I believe I'll try it. Cross-court pass, Knox. Spins, puts it up. Won't fall. She's done a nice job as Cronky in the ball game. Good rebounding, number 12. Taking the 3, driving. Going to be knocked out of bounds by Havre Grace. John Carroll will retain possession. That's Jay Thomas, number 22. Timeout called on the floor. 3 minutes, 37 seconds left.
Timeout, Warriors.
Barb Solberg, we thank you so much for coming here tonight and being our partner. This has been quite a bit of fun, and also good to see John Carroll, a team that we don't get to see a lot because we only cover Harford County sports, so got to be 2 Harford teams. So seeing John Carroll play Havre de Grace, it's a treat.
It is a treat. Yeah, I agree. And they don't even get much coverage in the Aegis. I got to read my Aegis to catch up with everybody,
There
and
you
they don't
go.
cover 'em much either.
And cards and letters can go to Barb Solberg there. Oh, goodness.
It's my source of information is the Aegis.
What we're seeing going off the floor for John Carroll into the locker room, number 3, Ellie Serra. Ellie has some ice on that right hand, so we don't know if it's a finger or, you know, a hand type of an injury, but again, she's doesn't seem to be in quite as much pain as she was when it first happened.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be back playing in the next game, hopefully.
Havre de Grace now taking the floor down by 21 at 48-27. They trailed at 12 at the halftime. Open. Back of the rim, no good. Rebound comes to John Carroll. Devin Jablin, number 14. You heard the home fans counting down the shot clock. Got it off at 2, got fouled, and we'll get 2 free throws. Jay Thomas with a chance to get her first 2 of the night.
Yeah, and if you're Havre de Grace, you play good defense, and then the shot clock winds down, and at the last minute you foul them, and John Carroll ends up at the line. But
yeah. Mercy Quarantine back in the ball game for Havre de Grace, number 23. This is them both. And on cue, Quarantine gets the rebound. Knox, pass into Quarantine. Taken away by Quarantine, and taken away just as quickly by 14, Devin Jablin. Jablin with the pass, hits her teammate number 12, Avery Cronky. Cronky gets her 5th of the night. Team up now by 23. Weitzel, good pass inside, won't fall. Rebound comes to Lucy French, number 4. Passing of the 3. Inside pass. Nice rebound by Weitzel. Here comes Knox. Shoots it up, it won't fall. French with the rebound. Looking for 3 and getting 3.
that was a good look.
Kendall Gallup, her first points of the night. She has a 3.
You know, you'd think being John Carroll up by that much, they might hold the ball, run some clock off. And no, we're not going to do that.
Arching 3-pointer by Weitzel won't go. Quarantine has the ball taken away. I think the foul is going to be called against John Carroll. Croxell coming into the ball game. Well, she'll sit down while Knox shoots 2. Well, actually 1 and 1, I guess. Nope. Croxell will come in. Not a shooting foul, as it turns out. Croxell into the corner. Roxy Smith with the shot. Front of the rim, no good. Quarantine with the rebound. Won't fall. Good job by Avery Cronky holding her position, getting the rebound.
Good save.
It was a great save by Jay Thomas. Smith. Back and forth we go. That's French. Yeah, I wondered if.
She knew it. Trying to get away with it.
It was kind of Lucy said, "You didn't see that, did you?" Your back was turned to me, and unfortunately for her, the officials picked it up. Minute 25 left in this game, 53-27. The lead for John Carroll. It's been all Patriots. Roxy Smith with the drive, Quarantine with the rebound.
She's done a good job since she's come into the game.
Remember, she was in foul trouble early. That's her first 2 of the night. Mercy Quarantine, a senior, 5'9", her 3rd year on the team, actually 2nd year on the varsity. Shot clock at 10. Got to get it off, 8. Jay Thomas, it goes in.
Nice drive.
That ball went around and finally went in. Her first 2 of the night.
And she's not the tallest player on the court either, but she got in there with the big guys.
And knocks the ball away, almost gets the steal. Croxall comes back with her. Roxy Smith. Doesn't draw iron. Rebound comes off to John Carroll. Kendall Gallup. Great pass. Can't convert. There to rebound the ball is Thomas. 8 seconds left in the game. 7 seconds. 3-pointer won't go. Quarantine gets the rebound. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Good if it goes. And it will.
There you go.
At the buzzer beater by
It's a fun way to end the game.
by Brielle Croxall. Croxall, who ends up with 14 points, so she gets her team back to 55-32, and that will be the final score as John Carroll will get their first win of the year. They're now 1-2. Havre Grace drops to 1-3. The Warriors again led by those 14 points by Brielle Croxall, 13 points by Piper McHugh for John Carroll, 12 by Cameron Allman. They were the leading scorers. Barb, it just seemed like John Carroll had the answer. Anytime Havre Grace made a little spurt, John Carroll had that 3-point shot or that interception, kept them at bay.
Yeah, I'm surprised they were 0-2 coming into this game.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with them. Offense, defense, hustle, everything. And you're right, Havre Grace kept calling a timeout and trying something different, and John Carroll had an answer every time.
And remember, their 2 losses were against IAAM A conference schools, and those, if you're thinking about, probably as good or better than any team in Harford County, each team. So in other words, if you go through that gamut, that gauntlet of A conference schools, that's like playing the best team in the county every night of the week.
Well, I'd like to watch some of those games because I was pretty impressed with John Carroll tonight.
Yep, John Carroll, who is in the B conference, and obviously they'll start their B conference schedule in the next couple of days. So right here before the Christmas holidays. So again, Piper McHugh, the senior, with 13 points. And Barb, I think you'll agree that beyond just the points she scored, her all-around play, both offensively and defensively, was a key for John Carroll.
Yeah, she was fun to watch. You can tell she's an athlete out there.
Hope you've enjoyed it. Don Morrison with Barb Solberg bringing you this basketball action from John Carroll, where the John Carroll Patriots win by a final score of 55-32. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned all season long on Harford TV for Harford County Sports. Good night, everyone.